Going on, family? How's your heart doing? How you sleep at night? It is your favorite Mufa coming on with the How's Your Heart Doing podcast. Mufa, man, look, as we've been in the flow of this thing, I wanted to come on today and yeah, man, really just encourage somebody. I don't judge me. This is my workout clothes. I gotta keep it colorful. But today is gonna be short, sweet, to the point, and yeah, I don't know if you could tell, but I've been been in a sea of tears since I woke up this morning. I try to catch myself in good spaces when I come on here. And yesterday I was like, yeah, I'm about to record a podcast. I was feeling good. I had a meeting yesterday. Was in a season of expectation. I know the one thing that it's okay. It's easier for me to show up on here when I'm feeling good. When my emotional body feels grounded, when I feel intact. It's harder to show up on here when the tears can't stop flowing and they don't stop. And I wanted to break through that today, and I'm probably gonna be crying as I do this. It's all right. Because that's the episode, is cry that shit out your head. And I wanna touch on, I wanna speak to anybody right now that's going through a season of being sat down. We talked about it on the last episode, turn up in time out, what that looks like. And part of me turning up in time out, part of me doing this work right now is acknowledging and honoring what is being transmuted through, what is being worked through my body right now. And the tears for me really just represent the false stories. The tears for me represent the regrets, represent the narratives that I've created about myself, about my situation, specifically as it relates to how I show up as a father. Um, I want to touch or talk to anybody right now today that is really struggling with those thoughts, and thoughts become things. And oftentimes, when you're being sat down and spirit is trying to work on you, trying to get your spirit edified, when God is trying to do a thing, oftentimes we really don't, understand or know what it feels like to show up when we don't got the strong face on. We don't. It's hard to show up um, when you're struggling with the narrative, right? For a lot of people, I think it was I was talking to um, my love the other night, and I said I had to come to accept the fact that a lot of people don't know what to do with me when I'm not the a food that they can run to for the light, when I'm not the version of myself that is motivating and giving folks love and giving folks compliments and boosting everybody up and helping them see themselves at their best self. When I'm in a space where I need that love poured back into me, when I'm in a space where I need that support, when I can't show up with the right word, when I'm not showing up with the gusto, as my love says, who can do that for me? Who can show up for me to get me up out of my space, to get me out of my head, to pour into me? And I want to show up today to really encourage you. Outside of I've been sober for, and I say sober, I haven't engaged in smoking um, for a little bit over a month, engaging in the gardening and the cannabis or any type of THC for a month, and over a month now, probably about 40 days. And it's intentional for me to talk about that because while to me, I'm like, oh, I ain't doing too much. I know that in a space where, my money ain't coming in, I don't have transportation like I'm used to. I don't have the autonomy I'm used to, the independence I'm used to. I'm having to lean and depend on family in a time where, like, I would much rather not, you know what I'm saying, when they need me. And so I'm having to work through showing up for myself and showing up for my mother. Um, it's something for me to sit with what it looks like for me to honor the tears, to honor my body's wisdom, to know that showing up and pushing forward at a time where, like, I just want some shit to change, where I'm just ready to see the tangible manifestation of the blessings when we can't see the tangible blessings, we feel often like God ain't doing the thing. And I want to encourage you today to like archive and show up anyway. Me doing this podcast is a reminder for myself of what it means like to believe in myself. Like you ain't just bright and shiny when you smiling. You know what I'm saying? You still bright and shiny when the tears are flowing. And a lot of us are so ashamed of those tears, but those tears represent the stories that we've had, the false stories, the other people's voices, your mama don't voice, your family don't voice, that social circle's voice, that conditioning that says you got to perform and you got to show up in this particular way, but that's not what God intended for you. That's not who you really came here to be. That's not part of your destiny. And in me leading with confidence and leading, with transparency, like I think it's important for me to really sit in a space of like focusing in on what I'm supposed to be doing. Everybody else can wait. Folks can sit down. They can chill. They don't have to have my energy. They don't have to talk to me. They don't have to sit with me. They can just chill. And I'm the most important motherfucker in my life. Like I'm the most important thing. What I got going on is more important than what you got going on. What I got to do is more important than what you got to do. And I'm in a space now where people gotta respect and honor those boundaries, because if I don't answer the phone on the first ring, if I don't show up when you need me, man, hey, it's all right. You'll be all right, nigga. Like, and folks gotta respect that in my life. Folks gotta honor the fact that like I'm not here to show up to make you feel better. Like I'm here to show up to make myself be in my divine purpose and walk in my divine purpose and walk in my divinity. And it's hard to do at times when you feel like you don't got nothing. It's hard to do at times when those tears just keep falling and you feel like, man, you know what? I don't think I don't got it today, you know. So I'm really on here today to give myself love. I had a day yesterday where I felt like I got a glimpse at some possibilities and just a version of myself and the work that I've been doing, that I'm like, damn, you know, I feel like this could be tangible for me. I feel like these are things that, like, my life could look like this with some support, with some help, with some consistency. And, at times, man, like I said, the shit feels so close yet so far, and then you always questioning and wondering too, even like, what is your role in other people's, success, right? And why does it feel like at times like you're always necessary for what other people need for them to be good, but you're not included in that byproduct? And with anybody that's listening today, I just want to tell you that you're worthy of your own best. Everybody else don't got to get your best. Everybody else don't got to get, the genius. Everybody else don't got to get the strength and the discernment and the wisdom. Like, you deserve that shit for you. I show up as a psychotherapist often, and one thing in this season that I'm breaking is the idea that I can be put on the back burner for other people's gratification. Like, access to me and access to my love and my healing is ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some big shit. To have access to me, to talk to me, to be able to get wisdom from me, to be able to get clarity from me, ain't no little shit. However, in certain positions, I can convince myself that it's just regular. At certain times where I'm not, I don't see the tangible manifestation. It can confuse me and make me feel like, yeah, I ain't worth shit. I ain't, what I'm saying? I ain't worthy of, the reciprocation, the compensation, the collaboration. Folks actually coming to me to see my dreams come to life. You know what I'm saying? And as we get in the spring and everybody get excited, the motherfuckers start doing what they doing, and you know what I'm saying, like all type of shit. Like, I just want to reset for myself, and I want to come on here is in the emotional state that I'm in, and just remind somebody today that it's okay to cry, and it's okay to get it out, and it's okay to show up. It's actually in your best interest and in your best good to show up as you are. I know I'm a leader, and to lead from this vulnerable place is something that's hard to do. I've been doing it for a minute, y'all. Like, I've been showing up and leading um like this, um for all the ways that, sometimes I feel like I don't wax poetically enough. I don't use enough academic. I don't cite enough sources. I don't have the academic um, influence of my peers. I'm reminded, by spirit, by God, of why they told me not to be on social media. Because comparison is what they say. Comparison is the thief of joy or the enemy of joy. And while I may not be consciously doing it, when you're in a state where you feel like you don't have, that's what happens. And I got to be mindful of that. And I got to check myself and I got to love myself. And I got to be in a space where I am okay. Because every day I show up for everybody else, I don't be okay. And I'm now realizing, like, if I don't do it for myself, if I don't take care of myself, if I don't love myself, and in loving myself, it means showing up and committing to the work that I know I'm supposed to do, which is showing up here and showing myself to y'all. Being a leader and standing with transparency as a black man and saying, hey, man, fuck all the talking like it ain't gonna be okay. Sometimes you just gotta let people see you cry and know that it's okay to cry. And tomorrow I might be on her joking and cutting the rug and acting up and cutting the food, but like today, I'm sad. You know what I'm saying? Today I missed the fuck out my daughter. Today, I'm struggling with not going back to spaces that have harmed me because the comfort of those spaces, it just reminds me that makes me feel like I'm loved, right? And I think that's a struggle for a lot of us where we get confused, you know, with love. We feel like love is something that it's not. A lot of times it's just people, your success affirming other people's choices, your success and who you are in your life being something that people can bite off of and can siphon in a way. I've done so many things, and I think my presence for a lot of people, it just gave their life some meaning, and it gave their life some inspiration that they probably wouldn't have had otherwise because of proximity to me. And that's a hard thing to accept and to swallow when you just genuinely see the best in folks. You don't see the ulterior motives. You don't see them, really sizing themselves up off of you when you just want to feel love, right? And that desire to feel love is often what keeps us stuck and keeps us in them chains, man. And, for me, it's coming on here and saying, "Fool, I love you, dog. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not giving up. I'm proud of you for not, yeah, just tucking your tail and hiding. I'm proud of you for saying, hey, I'm gonna hop on here and I'm gonna shoot this shit on this webcam, and it's gonna look like the '90s in this bitch. And it's not gonna be in HD, but motherfuckers is gonna feel me, and they gonna get this shit, and they gonna understand what it is. And that's just really where I'm at with it today. Sometimes it's not the it ain't about the clickbait. It ain't about the content that can go viral. It's just about you being 1,000 and about you being real. And today I felt like all I could do was cry. And I know in that crying is wisdom. I know in that crying is God talking to me and God working through me to show up and keep my dreams alive, to show up and to work on my gifts, to work on my creativity, to work on the things that I know I'm here to give to the world, even despite my phone not ringing, the interviews not calling back when they said they would, the people, the mentors not, not calling back, the folks that you want to catch up with and follow up with, not answering. It's one thing to accept that how people treat you ain't got much to do with you as much as how they feel about themselves. And in moments like this, that's hard to really believe, right? You feel like it's folks saying "fuck you," you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to lean into that narrative. I'm going to sit with the reality that this time is a time for me to be molded and for me to be edified and to be loved on and worked on. And that's what I'm taking it as. And so, yeah, I just want to leave y'all to know that it's okay to cry. Cry it out your head. Them thoughts, what I'm saying? Don't let them thoughts become things. Don't let the moment become a mountain. Just know that you are the thing. You are what God is working on. You are the gift. You are the promise. And just because you're crying today, your tears of sadness, just no tears of joy. If you can cry tears of sadness, the tears of joy is coming. All right. Nobody told you today I love you. Y'all take care of yourself.